spent the last week and a half in Signal Mountain, down Waldens Ridge from Flattop Mountain, which is where a great fiddler named Blaine Smith and his mother-in-law, Florrie Stewart, who played the banjo, lived. Anyway, I've had this tune, Old Chattanooga, on my mind for the whole time, and thought I'd share a little bit of the way that I like to play it sometimes. Maybe I'll make a video sometime of a little bit of Florrie Stewart's banjo playing, because it's super cool. But this is not that. This is just how I like to play this tune sometimes. I'm in like a really low Sandy River bell tuning, I think that's what people call that. Anyway, this is a great tune. I got to hang out a little bit with some of Blaine Smith's children and hear a few stories. Maybe I'll share a couple of there's not a whole lot to say, but he played a viola, which is kind of cool. But here's that tune. That's what you're here for. And then I'll break it down for you. Old Chattanooga. So one of the things that when I met Blaine Smith's son, he told me that Florrie Stewart, I guess her family didn't want her to play this kind of music or play the banjo, and so she'd have to kind of sneak off and learn and play and hear it. And I wonder if one of the people that she would have heard was a guy named Tom Douglas, I think he was born around 1868. He was a great fiddler in the Chattanooga area at the turn of the 20th century. And his son Bob played fiddle for 101 years. Well, not the whole time, because he probably didn't fiddle as an infant, but he lived that long and played all through the 20th century. I'll make a video of Blaine Smith's fiddle version probably at some point, but talk more about that. So let's just kind of look at the tune here. I'm in this sandy, whatever you want to call this tuning, and I think it serves this tune well because it's kind of like, this is kind of a funky tune. Blaine Smith's playing's funky. It's real slidey and swoopy, and it's not sweet. This tune can be played sweet. You certainly, there's recordings of people playing it really sweetly, and it sounds great, but I really love the funkiness of his playing, and I think this kind of lets you get towards that because of these open strings and these dissonances and the lack of like having a strong C chord or 4 chord. It's pretty choice. So just kind of go through some phrases here. I'm gonna, the first chunk of the A part's just gonna be straight bum ditties. just a hammer on, some slides. Hammer on, open, slide, 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 pull off, hammer on. Actually, that wasn't a hammer on, I just plopped it down there. So, and the cool thing about this tune is, again, if you go and listen to Blaine Smith's recordings, which I recommend, they're available on the Pine Breeze. They were these Pine Breeze recordings put out in the late 70s, early 80s that my friend Ron Williams made, and they're amazing. And Ron has crazy stories about making this stuff, but you'll have to check in with him for some of that information. But that's where you can go and hear Blaine Smith's playing. I think Ron might have posted it on his YouTube channel too, so you could check it out there. So we got... play this, I don't do the same thing every time. Sometimes I'll make my slides go backwards. Sometimes I'll go backwards and forwards. So that's what's cool about a slide. You can take it any which way. Or sometimes I'll substitute out like a pull-off instead. Slide, pull-off, slide, pull-off. Doesn't really matter with a tune like this. It's kind of open to like whatever you want to bring to it, especially if it's, if you're not losing your rhythm or sacrificing rhythm, you can kind of put in some weird notes that are funky. Index bum diddy. So index. So that's a bum diddy. I'm not brushing, I'm just playing first string, second string, thumb. Bum diddy. And then I'm just doing a little pull-off hammer on the second fret of the G, then open. So you put those two parts together, you got an A part. Slide. The new part. Index. That a couple times. Let's see how we like it. Slide, pull off, second fret. Hammer on, open, slide. Now, again. Slide, pull off. There's other ways that we could wrap up the ending phrase there. Right? We could do some drop thumb, like 2 sequences of drop thumb. So the first sequence is just going to be a standard issue drop thumb, and then you're going to follow it with a descending drop thumb. So that's a drop thumb. So drop your thumb, drop your thumb. Can you dig it? Drop your thumb, descending drop thumb. Right, we're going to that. We're going index, first string, thumb, second. then catching the second fret of the third string with our index, and then thumb. Okay, so then if you were to play the A part like that, here's what you get. B part. Again, we could play the whole thing with bum ditties if we wanted to, and that would sound, I think that'd sound great. But I'll probably, because I have this little lick that I like to catch, this is where it shows up in the B part here, and this is what I really like about this tuning, is that it makes this little lick available. So I'll show it to you when we get to it, but here is the B part. Open first, open second, slide, then open, catching the third fret on the brush, drop your thumb, go into the second fret for the ending. So here's what that sounds like. To when I do the descending drop thumb, it's a drop thumb. I do a pull off when I hit that second index. Pull off. Okay, so there's your first part of the high part. Part is where my favorite little lick for this comes in. The way I do it is it's going to be like two. You can either do, you're going to go third to seventh, fifth string, then second string open. That you could go, you could catch it with a brush, so third, brush, 7, catch 5th, open 2nd with your index, and then index, bum ditty on the way up. And that whole thing is about timing. You got to get the timing right. You hear how it kind of surges? Bum ditty, first, second string, slide. So it just kind of wraps up in a similar way to the other half. So here's what that whole part sounds like. another option is like I'm doing a lot of brushes, and a lot of times when I'm playing this, I'll just, instead of doing like bum ditties that have a brush, I'll just use like an index bum ditty, or a bum ditty where I play index, and instead of brushing, I'll hit the first string with my middle finger because it's just convenient or something, and I'm lazy. I don't know. So here's what the whole tune would sound like. Yep, there you have it. So be on the lookout. I'll probably put like a 2-finger version of this out. I like that too, and then a fiddle one. Anyway, if you're enjoying this stuff, subscribe. Go and maybe buy some of my music on Bandcamp. There's some cool stuff with the pump organ that I just put out last week. I got some banjo pump organ duets coming too. So anyway, yeah, peace out.